Mindset can affect an individual's success and well-being. Parents and coaches are responsible for modeling a growth mindset in youth athletes. This is Neil Wattier with the AMPT Mental Performance Weekly podcast with tips for parents and coaches from Carol Dweck's book, Mindset. Psychologist and researcher Carol Dweck has researched the power of mindset for decades. In her book, Mindset, Dweck introduces the concept of fixed versus growth mindset and how it can significantly impact an individual's success and well-being. A fixed mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence are fixed and cannot be changed, while a growth mindset is belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed and improved through hard work and dedication. According to Dweck, people with a growth mindset tend to embrace challenges, learn from their mistakes, and persevere in the face of setbacks. These qualities are essential for success and can have a profound impact on a student athlete's development. I often refer to a study done by a resilience training company I worked with for a short period of time. Although the demographic is older, I feel it's still relevant to the conversation. The resilience trainers led workshops for over 6,000 U.S. Army soldiers preparing to deploy. Following the extended deployment, they were given the opportunity to provide feedback on their use of the skills and the results of their use during deployment, as well as during post-deployment reintegration, which has been reported by many military members as a very difficult, stressful period. Many of the soldiers reported using the mental skills frequently throughout their time away. In fact, many reported using them several times per week, and they used every skill at least once. Following the deployment, and during the post-deployment reintegration phase, those soldiers who reported using the resilient skills more frequently reported increased overall stress resilience, lower post-traumatic stress and depression, and increased health and well-being. During the final course of my master's in performance psychology, I began to write my thesis on psychological skills training for adolescent athletes. By the time I completed my research and submitted the paper, it became an advisory narrative on how parents and coaches can be productive or counterproductive for the development of youth athletes based on parent and coach behavior. I believe the sooner we provide mental skills coaching, the better our student athletes will be able to learn, implement, and develop them over the course of their lives. But how we teach is just as important as what we teach, because there are many ways in which the human mind learns. And much of it occurs during subconscious modeling, repetition of habits and behaviors, exposure to ideas and concepts, association or connections between information and what they already know, right? So the association of this is what I know and this is what I observe, how do I make sense of the two? And the final way of modeling is observation of others within their environment. And subconscious learning is very powerful during adolescence. Adolescence being the period of development after childhood and before adulthood. The exact age range can vary, but typically it's referred to as 13 to 19 years old. That's how it's thought of in the United States. This may be different in cultures outside of the United States. And this 13 to 19 year range is marked by significant physical, cognitive, social, and emotional changes. They are always watching, consciously and subconsciously. So how can parents and coaches nurture a growth mindset in children? Here's 4 tips based on Dweck's research. First, model a growth mindset yourself. Children tend to model their behavior and beliefs after the adults around them, the trusted adults they have, and parents and coaches definitely fall into that category. So by demonstrating a growth mindset in your own life, you can set a powerful example for your children, your athletes, to follow. Second, encourage effort and hard work. Instead of praising them for their intelligence or their talent, right? Oh, you're so smart. Oh my gosh, you're so good. Focus on their effort and progress. Oh my gosh, you studied so hard for that test. I'm so proud of you. Or the opposite, you didn't do very well because you didn't put in the effort, right? Same thing in sport practices or sport competitions, right? You perform really well because you work so hard, not because you're so talented. Third, encourage learning from mistakes. It's natural for young athletes and even adults to make mistakes. It's how we learn from and respond to these mistakes that matters. by teaching young student athletes to view mistakes as opportunities to learn and grow, you can help them develop this growth mindset. And finally, encourage a love of learning. Teach student athletes to pursue their interests and try new things. This will help them see that learning is an ongoing process and can be enjoyable throughout your life. Parents and coaches, you play a vital role in nurturing a growth mindset in young student athletes. Your willingness to improve your self-awareness and regulate your behavior will greatly impact what and how young student athletes learn. Thank you for listening to AMPT Mental Performance Weekly Podcast, your source for optimal mental performance coaching. I have 2 tasks for you this week. First, choose one action from today's conversation to implement in your life. Second, share this podcast and community with someone who values their mental performance. I appreciate your direct message feedback and would appreciate your online review of the podcast. Your honest rating and review help me improve the show and helps others find our community. Visit Arizona Mental Performance Training on all the popular social media outlets and at ArizonaMPT.com. Optimal performance requires deliberate mental skills training. You don't get better by accident, you get better by intention. You don't rise to the occasion, you fall to your level of training. Are you ready to become deliberate with your mental skills, to live with intention, to train with a purpose? Stop playing games and train to become a champion. Check out the AMPT weekly newsletter. Registration link is in the show notes or at ArizonaMPT.com. There are several options available for you to work with Arizona Mental Performance Training. First, powerful one-on-one mental performance coaching customized to address your specific performance challenges. Second, the AMPT Mental Bootcamp, small group coaching for athletes consisting of 10 online meetings in a fully interactive, educational, and supportive environment. The next group begins in February. Early booking bonuses available if you join by January 10th. Third, the AMPT Foundational Course, self-paced online mental performance training through the AMPT Learning Academy. For more information on all 3 of these options, check out ArizonaMPT.com or email hello@ArizonaMPT.com. Sign up today and propel your performance from good to great.